You know, every human being reaches a moment in life, a breaking point, where the heart whispers something you've been trying to ignore for years. A moment when the weight becomes too heavy, the silence becomes too loud, and the soul asks a question that shakes you from the inside out. How long will you try to do everything on your own? You might not say it aloud. You might not admit it to anyone. But inside, behind your smile, behind your strength, behind all the "I'm okay" replies, you are tired. Tired of forcing things to work. Tired of pretending you don't break. Tired of trying to be strong for everyone. Tired of carrying a burden Allah never asked you to carry on your own. And deep inside, there's a quiet voice. One that has been calling you back, softly, patiently, again and again. Leave it in Allah's hand. But we don't. We fight. We hold on. We grip what hurts us. We chase what escapes us. We plan with confidence but pray with doubt. We ask Allah for help but then act as if everything depends solely on us. And then we wonder why our hearts feel so heavy. We wonder why we keep collapsing emotionally. We wonder why the pain doesn't leave. We wonder why the same problems repeat in our lives. We wonder why we don't feel the sweetness of peace, the sweetness of tawakkul, the sweetness of surrender. Let me tell you a truth that can change your life in a moment. You were created weak so that you would lean on the one who is strong. You were created needy so that you would rely on the one who never needs. You were created to try, yes, but not to control everything. Because control doesn't belong to you, it belongs to Allah. And the moment you accept this, your entire life transforms. There is a kind of power, an unshakable, unstoppable, invincible power that only appears in your life the moment you stop trying to write your own destiny and start trusting the one who already wrote it with perfection. And so I want you to imagine something. Imagine you are standing in the middle of a storm. The wind is violent, the sky is dark, the ground is shaking, and everything you thought was stable is falling apart around you. People you counted on walk away. Plans you made collapse. Dreams you built with years of effort crumble in seconds. Your heart is exhausted, your mind is chaotic. Your chest feels tight. You don't see a way forward. And then, in the center of that storm, you hear a voice, not from the outside, but from your soul. Press your trust in Allah. A simple sentence, yet more powerful than every storm you will ever face. Because when you leave everything in Allah's hand, the storms don't disappear. But they can no longer break you. Life doesn't become easy, but your heart becomes stronger. The waves don't stop crashing, but Allah teaches you how to walk on water. You stop fearing the unknown because you finally know the one who controls it. And the moments that once made you cry become the moments that made you who you are. You learn something priceless. When Allah takes something away, He is not punishing you. He is protecting you. He is redirecting you. He is teaching you. He is preparing you. He is upgrading you. But we don't see that at first. We panic because we feel out of control, not realizing Allah is removing the illusion that we ever had control to begin with. We think loss is a sign of rejection, when it is often a sign of elevation. We think delay means Allah is ignoring us, when delay often means Allah is preparing something far better than what we are begging for. We think hardship means Allah is pushing us away, when hardship often means Allah is pulling us closer. If Allah loves you, He will test you. If Allah wants to raise you, He will test you. If Allah wants to purify your heart, strengthen your soul, expand your patience, and increase your wisdom, He will test you. Not to break you, but to rebuild you into someone better than you were before. But for you to feel the beauty behind those tests, you must learn to surrender. Not give up, not stop trying, not stop working, but surrender the outcome. Surrender the outcome. Surrender the fear. Surrender the desperation. Surrender the illusion that everything depends on you and say, Ya Allah, I tried, I planned. I prayed, I knocked on every door, I used every effort I had. Now I leave the result in your hands. Not because I am weak, but because you are the most powerful. And that moment is when everything begins to change. The anxiety you've carried for years starts melting. The fear loses its grip. The heartbreak begins healing. The confusion becomes clarity. The chaos inside your chest becomes calm. Because the heart is only at peace when it is held by the one who created it. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who spent years chasing a dream. He invested everything: time, money, effort, sleepless nights, endless sacrifice. And just when he thought he was close, everything collapsed. He was devastated. He felt betrayed by life. He felt abandoned. He felt like all his hard work meant nothing. But then, one night, while sitting alone, he whispered, "Allah, I don't understand your plan right now, but I trust it." And that one sentence changed everything. Months later, he realized the dream he was chasing would have destroyed him. Allah didn't stop him from succeeding. Allah saved him from succeeding at the wrong thing. And the moment Allah closed that door, He opened another. One the man never imagined, never planned, never even thought was possible. A door that brought him success, happiness, and peace beyond his expectations. This is what happens when you leave everything in Allah's hand. You stop chasing the wrong things. You stop attaching your happiness to people. You stop begging life to be something it was never meant to be. You stop losing yourself in pursuit of things that weren't meant for you. Instead, you begin to rise, and Allah begins to guide you in ways you never saw coming. He aligns you with opportunities you didn't know existed. He sends people into your life at the perfect moment. He removes those who block your growth. He protects you from unseen harm. He softens your heart. He strengthens your mind. He elevates your soul. And suddenly, you realize something. Life is not happening to you. Life is happening for you. Because Allah is writing your story with more love than you write your own dream. And sometimes the most powerful transformation in your life begins the moment you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And start asking, "What is Allah trying to teach me through this?" Choose nothing in your life is random. Not the people you met, not the heartbreaks you felt, not the delays you faced, not the blessings you received, not the pain you endured, not the silence you lived through, not the nights you cried, not the prayers you whispered with a trembling voice. Every moment is a message. Every event is a lesson. Every difficulty is a sign. Every blessing is a reminder. Every loss is a redirection. Every delay is protection. And every tear you shed was seen by Allah when no one else saw it. You never cried alone. You were never abandoned. You were never invisible. You were never forgotten. Allah saw you. Allah heard you. Allah heard you. Allah knew you. Allah understood you. Allah protected you. Allah guided you. Allah carried you through moments even you didn't know how you survived. You survived things that should have broken you. You lived through nights that felt endless. You faced storms you didn't think you'd recover from. You walked through pain that seemed unbearable. You held on when you felt like letting go. And you know why? Because Allah held your heart even when you didn't realize it. You may think you were the one who stayed strong, but it was Allah who strengthened you when your strength was gone. You may think you were the one who survived, but it was Allah who carried you when your feet had no power left. You may think you were the one who kept going, but it was Allah who placed light in your chest when everything around you felt dark. And that's the beauty of leaving everything in Allah's hand. You stop living life with panic and start living with peace. You stop reacting with fear and start responding with faith. You stop worrying about tomorrow because you know who controls tomorrow. You stop feeling alone because you know Allah is always with you. And when Allah is with you, what can defeat you? Not heartbreak, not failure, not loss, not fear, not the opinions of people, not the sharpness of life, not the weight of your own mistakes. Because Allah is greater than everything that hurts you. Allah is greater than everything that scares you. Allah is greater than everything that confuses you. Allah is greater than every door that closes. Allah is greater than every dream that's shattered. Allah is greater than every fear in your heart. And when you place your entire trust in Him, you begin to see how life shifts in your favor. Sometimes Allah will take you the long way, not because the short path isn't possible, but because the long path strengthens your soul, beautifies your character, and prepares you for what He is about to give you. Sometimes Allah will isolate you not because He wants you lonely, but because He wants you His. Because when you are surrounded by noise, you can't hear the voice of your own soul. When you're lost in the world, you can't find your Lord. So Allah pulls you away. He places you in solitude. He slows down your life, closes doors, He slows opportunities, He removes distractions, so that finally you look up. And when you look up, everything starts to make sense. You realize your timeline wasn't delayed. It was aligned with something greater. You realize your heartbreak wasn't a punishment. It was protection. You realize your loss wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something new. You realize your struggle wasn't meaningless. It was strengthening you. You realize your tears weren't wasted. They washed your heart clean. And you understand one of the most powerful truths in this world. When Allah is writing your story, don't interfere with the pen. Don't force chapters that aren't meant for you. Don't cling to characters who are meant to leave. Don't stay attached to things that are blocking your elevation. Don't try to control what only Allah can control. What you need to do is trust. Trust that Allah knows what you don't. Trust that Allah sees what you can't. Trust that Allah is doing something beautiful behind the scenes. Trust that every delay has wisdom. Trust that every detour is purpose. Trust that every heartbreak has healing hidden inside it. Because Allah never takes without giving something better. Allah never closes a door without opening another. Allah never removes someone from your life without replacing them with someone more deserving. Allah never tests you without preparing something for you. Allah never breaks you without the intention to rebuild you stronger. And when you trust Allah fully, you stop begging for what wasn't meant to be. You stop chasing love that doesn't belong to you. You stop crying over doors that were never your destination. You stop questioning the timing of your blessings. You stop doubting the wisdom behind your struggles. You stop trying to grasp the world with your fragile hands. Instead, you learn to raise those hands in dua and say, Ya Allah, I leave everything in your hands. My heart, my fears, my future, my dreams, my pain, my disappointments, my confusions, my hopes, my destiny. And that dua, that surrender, that moment of release is when Allah opens the gates of mercy on you in ways you never imagined. Suddenly, things that were difficult for years begin to ease. Doors that were locked begin to open. People who were written for you begin to show up. Blessings that were delayed start flowing into your life. Comfort begins entering your heart. Peace begins settling in your soul. Because the moment you let go, Allah begins. And I want you to think about something deeply. How many times did you want something, prayed for something, chased something, and when you didn't get it, you were heartbroken? But years later, when you looked back, you said, Alhamdulillah, I didn't get what I wanted. Because what Allah gave me instead was so much better. This is the proof. Proof that Allah's plan is better than your desire. Proof that Allah's wisdom is greater than your vision. Proof that Allah's timing is more perfect than your urgency. Proof that Allah's protection is hidden in His refusals. Proof that Allah's mercy is hidden in His delays. Proof that Allah's love is hidden in His tests. So breathe. You don't have to carry the world on your shoulders. You don't have to figure out every detail. You don't have to stress over every step. You don't have to panic about the outcome. You just have to trust the one who controls the outcome. And when you trust Him, truly trust Him, you walk differently. You think differently. You make decisions differently. You stop overthinking. You stop stressing. You stop forcing. You stop doubting yourself. You stop comparing your journey to others. You stop living in fear of what's coming. You begin to live with peace, a type of peace the world cannot give you and cannot take away, a type of peace that doesn't depend on your circumstances, a type of peace that comes from one simple truth. Your life is in the hands of the one who loves you more than your mother loves you. You think you've reached your limit, but Allah sees a strength in you that you have not discovered yet. Sometimes you don't know how powerful you are until Allah strips away everything you thought you needed. Only then do you realize the truth. Your real power was never in people, never in the world, never in your past. It was always in your connection with Him. And that connection becomes clearer when the old you finally steps aside. There is a version of you that Allah is calling, a version of you purified through hardship, a version of you softened by repentance, a version of you resilient from patience, a version of you that no longer bows to temptation but bows only to Allah. And the journey to that version begins when you say, enough. I cannot continue living as who I used to be, because the old you would rather numb pain than heal it. The old you would rather chase distractions than chase destiny. The old you would rather stay comfortable than grow. The old you believe that healing comes from people. But the new you will understand that healing comes from Allah alone. This world taught you that you must be strong by yourself. But Allah teaches you that true strength comes from surrendering to Him. The old you built walls around your heart to protect yourself from disappointment. But the new you will trust Allah enough to let Him break those walls and rebuild your heart with light. Sometimes your heart has to break for your soul to breathe. One day you will realize that the heartbreaks, losses, betrayals, setbacks, and silent nights were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to detach you, to pull you away from illusion, to guide you away from the wrong path, to clean your heart from dependence on creation so you can depend on the Creator. Because Allah knows what you do not know. He knows how every moment of your life connects. He knows what will break you and what will build you. He knows which people bring peace and which bring chaos. He knows which dreams elevate you and which would ruin you. So when He removes something, it is never random. When He delays something, it is never wasted. When He says a no, it is never rejection, it is protection. The old you would panic when life didn't go your way. The new you will trust that Allah's way is better. The old you would question every hardship. The new you will say, Alhamdulillah, this is from my Lord. The old you feared that change meant losing yourself. The new you knows that change means finding yourself through Allah. There is a moment in every believer's life when they realize that Allah has already written their life in the most perfect way. All they need to do is walk the path with patience. And that realization is what destroys the old you. Suddenly, the things you thought were tragedies begin to look like miracles in disguise. Suddenly, the people who left no longer feel like loss. They feel like release. Suddenly, the pain you felt begins to make sense. Because Allah was not punishing you, He was preparing you. You can't rise without the weight of your past being lifted from you. You can't grow without discomfort. You can't rebuild without sacrifice. And you can't reach the new you while dragging the old you along like a burden. Release yourself. Let go of the resentment that has been poisoning your heart. Let go of the guilt that keeps whispering that Allah won't forgive you. Let go of the fear that your future won't be better. Let go of the habits that drain your iman. Let go of every version of yourself that survived through pain but cannot enter your next chapter. Allah is not just rewriting your story. He is rewriting your soul. He is giving you new thoughts, new feelings, new strength, new clarity, new peace, new direction. And this transformation begins internally long before it becomes visible in your life. You will notice it first in your silence. He knows what your life will feel like when you finally stop chasing what harms you. He knows how peaceful your nights will be once your heart returns to Him. He knows how your tears of pain will turn into tears of gratitude. The old you survived through adrenaline, denial, and self-distraction. But the new you will survive through connection, tawakkul, and surrender. The old you tried to heal while staying in the same environment that broke you. But the new you will understand that healing begins the moment you choose Allah over comfort. Look at how many times Allah saved you quietly. Think about the people who left. You thought it was their decision, but it was Allah protecting you. Think about the doors that closed. You thought it was rejection, but it was Allah redirecting you. Think about the delays. You thought they were obstacles, but they were Allah's timing shaping you. Every moment of confusion was a moment of divine precision. Allah never wastes your pain. Allah never ignores your tears. Allah never overlooks your effort. He watches you try. He watches you fall and get back up. He watches you battle your desires. He watches you walk away from the things you once begged for. He watches you in the silent early mornings when your heart whispers, Ya Allah, guide me. He watches you fight private battles that nobody else knows about. And with every battle, He is building you. You don't need to announce your transformation. Allah sees it. Allah records it. Allah rewards it. He knows every moment you chose Him over your ego, over your temptations, over your old patterns. And each of those choices is carving a new path for you. A path lined with mercy, clarity, and barakah. But to walk that path, the old you must be left behind. Not through force, but through faith. The new you requires purity. The new you requires courage. The new you requires discipline. The new you requires alignment with Allah. And this alignment will change everything. And when your heart aligns with Allah, the world can no longer shake you. This is not weakness. This is awakening. Every step you take away from the old you is a victory. Every sin you resist is a victory. Every prayer you make is a victory. Every tear that falls in sujood is a victory. Allah sees your struggles and counts them. Nothing is overlooked. You will say, if those things hadn't happened, I would not have become this version of myself. This is the beauty of Allah's plan. Nothing is wasted. Not the pain, not the delay, not the loss, not the tears. Everything shaped you. Everything elevated you. Everything guided you back to Him. Walk forward bravely. Walk with conviction and whisper to your soul, the old me was surviving, but the new me, rebuilt by Allah, will rise.